Hey, it's Marina, travel experta. Today, we're going to be talking about ATV or quad rentals. Are you guys ready for an adventure? Let's begin. What does ATV stand for? All-terrain vehicle. You probably seen those, the quads. They're called quads because they have four wheels, but they're completely open. It's kind of like a motorcycle with four wheels almost, even though it's not. But you get the picture, right? So I have done pretty much any kind of cool vehicle tour lately, snowmobiling, which I have a podcast for, wave running, which I also have a podcast for. We own a scooter. Everywhere we go, I pretty much end up renting a scooter. I absolutely love scooters. I don't know how to do motorcycles, although me and my husband did rent a Harley one time and go traveling in Florida for about 4 days. That was also really fun. So I've never done a quad or an ATV, and I see them around town quite a lot. And whenever we travel anywhere, quads are always offered as a cool tour. So for my 50th birthday, I told my family that is exactly what I want to do. I want to rent a ATV and go for a ride. So when I started to look it up, there are many options. One, you could go with a tour group and do an actual tour, right? Depending where you live, depending on where you're visiting, they have many different tours. You could go up mountains, you could go on oceans, you could go off-roading, you could go in the village. There's so many different things. But since we're doing it in my hometown where we've lived for the past 13 years in Antigua, Guatemala, I don't think I need to go on a tour of something that I've seen and done 100 times. So what I did want to do is I simply wanted to rent ATVs for us. Even when you rent an ATV, because we don't have much experience, a guide comes with us. Basically, if there's any problems with the actual vehicle or whatnot. So we did the 3 hour rental and we went up to this restaurant up in the mountains. It's called Hobetenango. I have an entire podcast about that place. It's a really, really cool spot. And if you're ever visiting in Antigua, Guatemala, or Guatemala in general, it's a must do checkout place. So make sure you listen to that podcast to find out more information about Hobetenango. So the way the tour works is that you drive the route, I should say, because it's not really a tour, but it kind of is, I guess. So you go through the entire town and up the mountain because it's all the way up the mountain. So you do go through some areas where it's like the village and small roads. So it was really fun. However, it's not something that we want to do the whole 3 hours. So the break in between to go and check out and enjoy the restaurant for about an hour really worked out beautifully. So we took about an hour to get to the restaurant, chilled out at the restaurant, and then headed back down. We rented it for 3 hours. There are places that you could definitely rent them for the day, 24 hours, very similar to scooters without a guide. Again, there are many options, and usually the places that offer the tours also offer the actual tours as well. So make sure to go and check that out when you are rent, or just depending on what you guys want to end up doing, right? So anyways, if you guys want any more cool ideas for any rentals, any tours, make sure to go to my website, travelexperta.com, travel expert with an a.com, and remember to make every day an adventure.